Hello everyone, and welcome to the Functions and Methods Homework Solutions lecture. So I'm just going to quickly go over the solutions that I came up with for the Functions and Methods homework. So the first one, we wanted you to write a function that computes the volume of a sphere given its radius. So I just started out with DEF, called my function vol, VOL, took in an argument RAD for the radius, and then returned, note here the floating point number since I'm using Python 2, 4 divided by 3 times 3.14, so 4/3 times pi times the radius cubed. Then I wanted you to write a function that checks whether a number is in a given range, inclusive of high and low. So what I did here was I created a function, def space ran underscore check, takes in 3 arguments, num, low, and high. So it checks if num is in range, low, high, so that would be a list. So if it's in that list, print it's in the range, else print number is outside the range. Then if you only wanted to return a boolean, what you could have done was def ran bool and then just returned the boolean itself, num in range. Okay. After that, wanted you to write a Python function that accepts a string and calculates the number of uppercase letters and lowercase letters. So for example, had hello Mr. Rogers, how are you this fine Tuesday? And expected output was number of uppercase letter characters, number of lowercase characters. So if you're feeling ambitious, you could have explored the collections module, but the way I did this was I created a dictionary with upper and lower as my keys, and then I said for character, or for CNS, so for character in the string, if its upper is true, so that's a method on that string, add a count to that value, to that key. If it was lower, add a count to the lower key, else if it was like a period or something, just pass, and then I printed out the results of that dictionary. Next, I wanted you to write a Python function that takes a list and returns a new list with unique elements of the first list. So the way you can do this in this case is start with an empty list in this function, then say for A in L, if A is not in X, if it's not in that unique list, the one you're going to output, append it to A and then return X. You can also use sets, but we'll mention that later on. Next, I wanted you to write a Python function to multiply all the numbers in a list. So you have a sample list, expected output. So what I did, I said total is equal to numbers index 0, so that very first item. Then I said for x in numbers, total times x. So total times x, and then return the total. After that, I wanted you to write a Python function that checks whether a passed string is a palindrome or not. This is a quick way to do it. You just check if the string is equal to the string reversed through indexing. And then last one was a little harder, how to write a Python function to check whether a string is a pangram or not. I mentioned the string module, so what I did here was I used set to say this alpha set is equal to the set of the alphabet, and then I wanted you to return the alpha set, which was less than or equal to the set of the first string, everything lowercase. So go ahead and read over that one, make sure you fully understand it. I know it's pretty tricky, but this boolean is the main trick here as far as this function's implementation. Okay, thanks. Go ahead and review the Jupyter Notebook, and I will see you at the next lecture. Thanks, everyone.